الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين وصلى اللهم وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. We were in the middle of the story of the Prophet ﷺ, and by now we will discuss about the beginning of the wahy, and we will go from there. So the process will take 23 years of his life ﷺ. And that journey starts right here in Ghar al-Hira, the cave of Hira, which is next to Mecca, very close. When the Prophet ﷺ's age was about 40 or 40 years, he started thinking about the world. He didn't have no religion. He didn't have no philosophy, specific philosophy to follow. However, he did not like what was going on in his neighborhood. People were worshipping idols made out of stones or trees. And it didn't make any sense to him. He didn't like it. You know, if you are just normal human being and you're not spoiled, according to Prophet ﷺ, you're born with the right religion. كل مولود يولد على الفطرة. Every newborn comes with the straight religion or straight faith, the real faith, the true faith. فأبواه يهودانه أو ينصرانه أو يمجسانه. Then his father or mother will make him a choice of religion. But when they're born, people, if they're not spoiled, if they're not brainwashed, if they're not altered otherwise, they believe in one God. That's the nature of the humans. So when he saw so many gods, so many different gods, and they all are made of stones and trees by a human, it didn't make no sense to him. So he didn't like them. He never worshipped them. Equally, the culture or the akhlaq of the people in his society was sometimes not that good. People were like messing around, doing many bad stuff. We discussed about the al-akhlaq al-ijtima'iyya at the time of the prophecy, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before prophecy. And it was not something that's attractive or attracting or something that will amuse anybody who has a little bit of wisdom and respect and dignity. It was not that good. So he didn't like it. Last Saturday, the lecture, we remember we discussed about the Prophet ﷺ attempting to engage some bad stuff with other youth 2 times in his life, and both times he ended up sleeping at the corner of the city until the morning. He decided to go tonight and mingle with the youngsters and the youth and do whatever they do. They drinking alcohol, they doing all this bad stuff, and he said, you know what, tonight I will go there and I will mingle with them. He asks his friend, companion, to watch his sheep. So he comes to the city. He says, when I came at the beginning of the city, for some reason I heard there was a wedding nearby. So I heard the noise from the wedding. Then he said, I sat down just to listen what they saying, and all of a sudden a sleep came from nowhere. He's sleeping right away. He didn't even hear what they were saying as a sing and songs in the wedding. He fell asleep, and he says, I was awakened by the heat of the sun next day. And he says, another day I attempted to do the same thing. I said, you know what? Tonight I will do it, so please watch my sheep. And he went there. Same thing happened. He's at the corner, at the beginning of the city, sleeping on the street until the next morning. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I never attempted that bad thing again ever in my life. So his akhlaq was in a way to suit a prophet. That's why they could not find any negative or negativity in his background. You know, when you have something in your background, you did something wrong or something bad, people will always attack you on that something. Yeah, you are the one who did this and that. Regardless if you rehabilitate yourself or not, they will still attack you on that stuff. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was preparing this man to change the entire humanity, the history of the humanity. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was protecting him from engaging and mingling with any low-level attitude and characteristics. So the Prophet ﷺ did not like the social being of the time. And he didn't like their religion. So what happens when you are that? He became alone. And he became to be in love with loneliness. He started laughing and enjoying when he's alone. Why? He pays attention to the world. He looks around. He says, who created this? Someone has to be behind this. And that someone doesn't fit to the idols they worship in the masjid of Allah, in the Kaaba. Because they are nothing but stones. They have no power. They are themselves being created by humans. So, let alone them being the creator of the whole world. And at the time, in his area, there was few people, like one or two or something like that, people that followed the religions before Islam, like Christianity and Judaism. Some few people, although they were numbered in less than 2 or 3 or 4, some very few people were following the religion in the past. So he became in love of loneliness. He started collecting his food and drink and going to Ghar al-Hira, that cave. Many of you maybe visited when you went to the Hajj. And the cave is in Jabal al-Nur, and it's like 2 miles from Mecca. وَمَعَهُ أَهْلُهُ قَرِيبًا مِنْهُ. He's in that cave. His family is not far away, 2 miles away. So he can come back and, regroup himself. So he used to be gone like days, sometimes 1 whole month. But he's coming back and forth to collect his more food or whatever he needs for his life. And then he goes back to the same place. And what happens, he eats and drinks in his place, and sometimes masakin or poor people pass by and he gives them the food and drink that he has. He shares with them. Some homeless people will come back and forth to eat with him because they don't have food, and this man has food in a cave. So they come on. He was just camping there. So some people will join in sometimes. What he was doing at the time was يقضي وقته في العبادة والتفكير. He is taking his time for ibadah and thinking about who is behind the creation of this world. Who is the creator? He's thinking about all the time, and he's looking at the sky, the big mountains, the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars. When you look at those stars, you will find out that there is a great individual that's behind this. And you don't want to believe otherwise that these beings that you see, the marvelous ones that you see, just came by accident. Some people, they speculate such an ideology, but it doesn't work with the normal human being. It doesn't work with the natural human being. That's not spoiled. So what happens? The Prophet ﷺ one day was sitting, one night, it was a night. He was sitting in his place. And his age now is completed on 40 years. And that's when they count the moon months. The moon months. The Hijri. The one that's the moon. If it's sun-based and you count 30 days or something like that, like the Miladi one, he was less than 40. He was 39 some months. But he was 40. They say why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose 40 years for many of the prophets, almost all of them, most of them. They say it's here Rasul Kamal. That is when the person becomes complete man. You're still growing, and you're still maturing, and you're still learning and gaining experiences of life until you hit that age. When you hit that age, you are full man. And after that, you can still experience some growth, but you are almost mature. You're almost mature. So 40 years. The Sheikh says, وَلَهَا تُبْعَثُ الرُّسُلُ بدأت آثار النبوة تتلوح وتتلمع مع من وراء آفاق الحياة. وتلك الآثار هي الرؤيا. At the beginning of his time, before the Wahy was revealed as a Quran, he started experiencing something completely new to him. Last 6 months of his life before the Quran was revealed, he used to have a dream. And whenever he has a dream, in those 6 months, he could see the dream. He can tell people, I saw this and this last night in my dream, and people will see it live. Will see it live. So, let me reply to this guy. So he used to see his dream becoming real in the morning. Everybody would see it. 6 months. And that is considered part of the Wahy. Because everything that he has as a dream, when you are a prophet, whatever comes to you as a dream is not shaitan, has nothing to do with shaitan. It's a real or reality or fact of this world. So he used to see his ru'ya and it comes like real. And that happens in 6 months before the nubuwwah. And as you know, ru'ya as-salihah is part of the nubuwwah for the prophets. Remember Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he was ordered to slaughter his son, it came to him as a dream. So he had a dream that he is ordered and commanded to slaughter his son. And the prophets, they used to receive, it's part of the Wahy. Or the ways that the Wahy comes down to the prophets. So he used to see those ru'ya for many, for like 6 months at least. فَلَمَّا كَانَ رَمَضَانَ مِنَ السَّنَةِ الثَّالِثَةِ مِنْ عُزْلَتِهِ. The Prophet ﷺ was doing this loneliness and camping for 3 years by now. And when he was about to complete the 3 years in Ramadan of that last one, the third year, in Ramadan, and he's in Ghar al-Hira. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent Jibreel down to him. And ayat of Quran, the first 5 verses of the Quran was revealed. The Sheikh says the day that incident took place is under a heavy dispute among the scholars. But what is known from him sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that it was Monday. Okay, so this Sheikh is making analysis. And I like his analogy and the way he came up with that day. It's better than the other ideologies. Many even have a dispute about the month. This man says it was Ramadan. Why? Allah says, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ. And Laylat al-Qadr is in where? In Ramadan. So Allah says, we indeed revealed Quran in Laylat al-Qadr. Another ayah Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, شَهْرُ رَمَضَانَ الَّذِي أُنزِلَ فِيهِ الْقُرْآنِ. Is the Ramadan, the month of Quran was revealed. In another ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, حَامِيمْ إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةٍ مُبَارَكَةٍ إِنَّا كُنَّا مُنذِرِينَ فِيهَا يُفْرَقُ كُلُّ أَمْرٍ حَكِيمٍ أَمْرًا مِنْ عِنْدِنَا إِنَّا كُنَّا مُرْسِلِينَ. And that night is the Laylat al-Qadr. So, if it's Laylat al-Qadr, it has to be in Ramadan. So he says, definitely it's Ramadan. Many of them, they say it's Rajab, some of them they say it's Rabi'ul Awwal, many different ideologies. But he says it's Laylat al-Qadr. And if it's Laylat al-Qadr doesn't come in any month other than Ramadan. Now, he has another thing. He says the Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith that was reported by Qatada, and the hadith is in Muslim, he says he was fasting Ithnin, or the Mondays. And he was questioned, why do you always fast Monday? He says, it's the day that I was born, and it's the day that I was sent down as a prophet. So the first night that he was chosen as a prophet has to be Monday. So he says, it is Monday. I have those two. I have Ramadan and I have Monday. I know the year. Then I will count which Monday it could be. So he says it could be, there was a few Mondays in that month. It could be Yom al-Sabi', it could be Yom al-Sabi' Ashar. Some people said it could be Thamin Ashar. He says when I counted the Monday and I backdated it, I found it the Monday falling into 21st and then 28th of Ramadan. So he says if it's Laylat al-Qadr always falls in the odd nights. So it should be the 21st. That's why many Sahaba, they believe that Laylat al-Qadr was only 21st. But it's not, that's not the case. It moves around. It could be 23rd, it could be 25th, it could be 27th, and it could be. So this man came up with this idea. It was the 21st of Ramadan in the night time when Jibreel first came and appeared to the Prophet ﷺ in Ghar al-Hira. And that ideology fits many facts. So let's stick with it, inshallah. I believe this is the best. Aisha radiallahu anha was asking about the wahy. And I don't know if you read Kitab al-Bukhari. The first chapter is called Kitab al-Bad al-Wahy, when the wahy was started. And the hadith of Bad al-Wahy is reported by Aisha radiallahu anha. Remember, Aisha was not even born then. She was not there. It says, أول ما بدأ به رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من الوحي هي رؤيا الصالحة، رؤيا الصادقة في النوم. The first thing that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم experienced as a wahy was the truthful dream. فكان لا يرى رؤيا إلا جاءت مثل فلق الصبح. He used not to see any dream except he used to come as the day comes in the morning when the sun comes up. ثم حبب إليه الخلاء, and then he loved loneliness and started camping. وكان يخلو بغار حراء. He started camping in غار الحراء. فيتحنث فيه وهو تعبد. Why is he going there? Since he's not following any specific religion or any specific manhaj. Why is he going there? For two reasons. Number one, to get a time to think about the dunya. Number two, to stay away from the sins of the people. They're doing many things and many sins are engaged by the society. So he wants to be separate from them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing him for the big task that's ahead of him. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he used to do this الليالي ذوات العدد قبل أن ينزع إلى أهله. He used to do like many nights until he goes back to his family. ويتزود لذلك. He used to collect his food for that. ثم يرجع إلى خديجة فيتزود لمثلها. And then he used to come back to Khadija and also again collect his food and drinks and go back to the same thing that he was doing. حتى جاءه الحق وهو في غار حراء, until the haqq or the truth came to him as he was in that camping in that cave. فجاءه الملك فقال اقرأ. And then the Jibreel came. This time Jibreel is in his angel shape. And Jibreel is so huge, so big, and so strange. Doesn't look like any human. So it's a creature that's so huge and talking to you as a human. And like you are small object in front of him, very tiny, like an ant. He says one time he opened his two wings, he spread his two wings, and he covered half of the whole world. That's how big he is. So he comes to you, you don't know anything about him, you have never seen him before. He comes to you by surprise, and he talks to you, and he says, Iqra, read. And Prophet ﷺ was illiterate. He never read, and he never wrote. He didn't know how to read or write. And also, he could not even learn. That was his kind of proof that the Quran and the Hadith are not man-made. Because this man cannot even read it from anywhere. Even if the paper is in front of him, he can read it. In any language, he couldn't learn. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intended to give him more proof and evidence that whatever he says is coming from somewhere else, not from him lying about it. So he says the haq came, he says, Iqra. فقال قلت ما أنا بقارئ. I said to him, I don't read. قال فأخذني فغطني حتى بلغ مني الجهل. He says he captured me. And he fumbled me, and he pushed me and squeezed me until I felt the death. I felt the death. And then he said, ثم أرسلني فقال اقرأ. And then he let me go, and he says, read. Second time. قلت ما أنا بقارئ. I said, I don't read. فأخذني فقطني ثالثا. He did the same thing twice, a second time, and third time. ثم أرسلني. He left him, or he let him go the third time, and he says, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Those 5 verses were the first verses of the Quran that was revealed. Amazingly. Islam, 1430 years ago, was all about reading and writing, learning, studying, knowledge, education, ilm. That is what it was. 1400 years ago. Today, most of those illiterate in the world are the Muslim world. It's very sad. Islam came first to order the Prophet ﷺ to read. And then at the end of the 5 verses, Allah says, I am the one who taught humans how to write. علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. So knowledge is pride. You need to educate yourself. You need to have skill. You need to go to school and study. And everyone has a right to study. I don't know where this thing came from. Some Muslims segregate ladies and girls from school. They don't allow them to go to school. Why? This is the outcome. And I think this is a foreign ideology to Islam. It has nothing to do with Islam. It is foreign ideology implemented by enemy of the Muslims. Because the mother is the teacher of the society. If your mother is illiterate and she doesn't know anything, who's going to tutor you? Who's going to help you out with your homework? Who's going to help you out to understand the world? Who's going to teach you what you don't know when you're growing up beside them? This is where the problem is coming from. Girls need to go to school. They need to be educated, if not more, than boys equally. Because they are the most important individual in the society. Society is made of families. And every family, the most important individual at home is the mother. If your mother is illiterate and your father is educated doctor, he is not going to have a time to teach you because he's going out to win the bread. She's the one that you feel comfort with all the time. She's the one that's around you all the time. She's the one that teaches you how to talk and how to take your first step. She's the one that's connected with you through the heart. If she's educated, you will be marvelous, better than the other kids. And trust me, I have many kids. I rarely tutor them. But amazingly, I have well-educated women who's taking care of that? Had she not been educated, I would have to arrange time and to organize my time and to fit my time into their homeworks. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with her. She's amazing. She does very good job. So if every mother in every house would have been educated, the Muslims would not be in the situation they are in right now. The solution is not in the bullets or in the guns. The solution for the problems that we have in back home is not through ISIS or Al-Qaeda or Al-Shabaab or killing people. It is through pen. Give people pen and paper. Let them know something they don't. Let them thrive in the knowledge arena. Give them a chance to study and learn. And again, girls come first when it comes to knowledge and education. That's a right, and it's not a privilege. It's a right. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ordering us. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Read. How can you read if you never attend school and you never learn how to read and write? Let kids know something. Let them go to school equally. I said, if not more, if not girls given more opportunity, they should not be deprived. This is foreign. This is absolutely un-Islamic. It has nothing to do with Islam. Some people will argue, oh, if girls go to school, they will be spoiled. He is spoiled. That person is spoiled. He needs philosophy that corrects his brain. He is crazy, or he doesn't know anything. So he is the problem, not her. Because nobody will be perfect in this life. And nobody can make someone perfect by isolating them from the society. It's upside down. I know some cultures, they deprive girls to engage with the society, and what happens? Once they get chance, they mess around really big time. Because of the imprisonment. You feel you are jailed from good stuff. And when you are like a bird free from a cage, you run and run, and you may never be found again. This is what happens. So teach girls, again teach girls, because the society starts from there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always asks to learn. And Jibreel says to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, read. And then he says, he left. فرجع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يرجف فؤاده فدخل على قرير خديجة بنت خويلد. He came home shaking, really shaking, and so afraid. And he was a man that never gets afraid. But this time he saw something absolutely out of his experience. Some big, huge dinosaur came to you, talked to you, and you don't know what to say. I use that word dinosaur because that's the big creatures that we know now from the TV, so we can relate to. Big thing came to you, spoke with you, fumbled you around, given you orders, and left you, you will be frightened. So he was very frightened. He comes home and he says, Zalmiluni, cover me up. He needs blankets and stuff. فَزَمَّلُوهُ حَتَّى ذَهَبَ عَنْهُ الرَّعْبُ. So they covered him up until the frightening goes away. And he says, فَقَالَ لِخَدِيجَ مَا لِي وَأَخْبَرَهَا الْخَبَرِ. He says, why me? He's afraid. He says, why did he choose me? Why am I picked up? And he says, لَقَدْ خَشِيتُ عَلَى نَفْسِي. I was really afraid of my life. And فَقَالَتْ خَدِيجَ كَلَّا. She says, no. وَاللَّهِ مَا يُخْزِيكَ اللَّهُ أَبَدًا. Look at the woman. She's the savior and the support. So if she is not educated, if she is not equipped with wisdom, he would have been turned down. She is telling him, counseling him, literally counseling him and telling him, you don't have the characteristics of those to be destroyed by God. You have the characteristics of good people. And God never destroys good people. You have these qualities, is what she says. And anyone who has these qualities has to be protected by God. rather than being destroyed by God. She says, Kalla Allah, ma yukhzika Allah. Allah will never turn you down. Wallah, she says, Innaka la tasilu rahim. First, you are good to your relatives. So he was very good to his relatives. Anyone who has a relationship with him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was always feeling good about him. He was very good to his people. وَتَحْمِلُ الْكَلْبِ. She says, you take care of those who don't have anything. Especially those travelers whom are homeless. When you are a traveler and you are in a strange city and there is no hotel or you don't have money, you will become homeless. So you are on the way. She says, you take care of those people. That's one of the qualities that you have. وَتَقْسِبُ الْمَعْدُومِ. She says, you work with the person who doesn't have money and you give them some money. You make them earn some money. Some people don't have no income. You help them out until they become getting some income in their lives. So you are that support of the people of poorness. She says, وَتُقْرِ الضَّيْفِ. You are very good for the guests. When guests come to you, you take care of them. Very nice. That's a good quality. وَتُعِينُ عَلَى نَوَائِبَ الْحَقِّ. She says, and you assist on any righteous way. Any righteous way that comes to your way, you help them. You assist them. People. فانطلقت به خديجة حتى أتت به ورقة. She says, let's go. Come with me. And she takes to him to Waraqat ibn Nawf. Waraqat is an old man who was Khadija's cousin. Waraqat ibn Nawf ibn Azd ibn Abd al-Uzza ibn Amm Khadija. He is the cousin of Khadija. وكان امرأة تنصر في الجاهلية. He was following the religion of Isa alayhi salam. So he has a real religion. He is following Christianity. He has real religion. So he understands what these people are talking about better than anyone else in the city. Because those people, they worship idols. They don't know any religion from God. But this man has the religion from God. وكان يكتب الكتاب العبراني فيكتب من الإنجيل بالعبرانية ما شاء الله ويكتب. He used to write and read Hebrew. He knew the Hebrew. So he used to read from the Injil, the religion of Christianity, the Bible, the New Testament, and he used to write it down as much as he can. He was very good in that. وكان شيخا كبيرا قد عمي. And this time he was an older guy who is blind. فقالت له خديجة يا ابن عم اسمع من ابن أخيك. She says, my cousin, please listen to your nephew, meaning Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. فقال له ورقة يا ابن أخي ماذا ترى? My nephew, what did you see? What do you see? فأخبره رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خبر ما رأى. He told everything that he saw. فقال له ورقة هذا الناموس. That's Jibreel. Namus meaning the person that brings goodness to people, or good news. So he is the good news teller, the person that comes with the good news, meaning Jibreel alayhi salam. It's one of the names of Jibreel. Some scholars, they say, no, it's the characteristic. It's the good news teller. هذا الناموس. He says, الذي نزله الله على موسى. It's the same one that Musa alayhi salam, the Prophet Musa, was received and brought the wahy to him. Amazing. Jews, they say we are anti-Jibreel. And they say they follow Judaism. The wahy, the angel that brought the wahy down to Musa alayhi salam was Jibreel. So if you don't like Jibreel, then you don't like your religion. The reason why they say this, they say Jibreel is the enemy of Jewish people. But that's not true. How can he be enemy to a whole clan or whole nation? He cannot. He's not evil. He's angel of God. An angel of God cannot practice evil. And that's evil and discrimination against a whole nation. That's not true. Allah says in the Quran, قل من كان عدوا لجبريل فإنه نزله على قلبك بإذن الله مصدقا لما بين يديه وهدى وبشرى للمؤمنين. من كان عدوا لله وملائكته ورسله وجبريل وميكال فإن الله عدو للكافرين. Anyone who's enemy, they said Jibreel is our enemy. One day they came to Prophet ﷺ and they said, we will believe in you if you answer all these questions correctly. And they asked him 3 questions. In another qissa, they asked him 6 questions. So they asked him 3 questions and he answered all the 3 and the last 6 questions. And the last one was, who is the angel that comes to you with the wahy, with the news, with the religion? And then he says, Jibreel. And they say, aha. Had you not said that word, we would all believe you. But they just lied. They don't want to believe you. The other story, they said 3 questions and he answered all the 3 questions and they rejected again. They said, Jibreel, why did you choose that one? Why didn't you say another one? Any other angel? But the amazing thing is, he is the one who brought down all the religions except few, 1 or 2. And Mikael was the one that brought down those 2. All the religions from Adam alayhi salam to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was revealed through Jibreel alayhi salam, including Judaism, including Christianity. He is the angel of Wahy. That's his name. And he's in charge of all of the angels. So he said, this man, Warqat ibn Nawfal, where the Prophet ﷺ told him about Jibreel, he says that is the prophet or the messenger from God that came to Musa alayhi salam also. He says, Ya laytani fiha jada'a. I wish I would be young man then. Then. He's talking about the future of the Prophet ﷺ. And this is even scary. It's scarier for the Prophet ﷺ. He says, laytani akunu hayyan idh yukhrijuka qawmi. I wish I would be strong and alive when your people will kick you out. And the Prophet ﷺ says, they will kick me out. I will be removed from Makkah, chased. And he says, قال نعم. He says, yes. لم يأت رجل قط بمثل ما جئت به إلا عودي. There is no man that ever came with the news that you came with, except he is being shown animosity. Everyone, Musa alayhi salam, remember what they did to him. Remember Jesus, they even tried to kill him. And many people, they believe right now that Jesus was killed and crucified. And we don't believe that. He is been elevated to the heaven by God. So, if that is the case, if he is the prophet of God and a messenger of God, why did they want to kill him? Let's say he was Dawud. Why did you kill him? What was the point? What did he do wrong? He was preaching people to be good in good terms with their God. That's all. And he was doing all good kinds of services for the people. He was even curing the sicknesses that nobody can cure them now. Why? Why was he killed? He was nothing but positive. He never had any significant, any negative in his life. Or he did not impact anyone's life in a negative way at all. Why did they kill him? If he was the one. Although we don't believe he's still alive, and he will come down before the day of judgment, and he will come down and fight the wrong and support the haqq. He will support the truth. So, he says, there is no man that came with whatever you came with, except he is always treated enemy. وَيُدْرِكُنِي يَوْمُكَ أَنْصُرُكَ نَصْرًا مُؤَزَّرًا. And he says, Wallahi, by Allah, if I am alive in that day, and your day comes, the day that they want to fight with you and kicking you out and treating you evil, that day I will support you a support that no support matches. The best support. He says, ثُمَّ لَمْ يَنْشَبْ وَرَقَةً تُوَفِّيَ فَتَرَ الْوَحْيِ. But he died before that time came. And there was no wahy in some time. There was no any other Quran that was revealed. Only 5 verses he has, the Prophet ﷺ. After he mentioned the stuff and the news was spread to Makkah people, he says there was something that I hated the most. 2 individuals that I did not like the most. And they are the Shu'ara and Majnun. crazy people. He said, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ مِنْ خُلُقِ اللَّهِ أَبْغَضَ عَلَيَّ مِنْ شَاعِرٍ أَوْ مَجْنُونٍ. There was no any characteristics I hated the most, to become crazy or to become bored. He says, those two I hated the most. كُنْتُ لَا أُطِيقُ أَنْ أَنْظُرَ إِلَيْهِمَا. Even if I see a crazy person or I see a bored, I was not able to look at them. I used to turn away from them. I didn't like those two characteristics. And what happens? قلت إن الأبعد يعني نفسه شاعر أو مجنون إلا تحدث بها عني قريش أبدا. Quraysh, they heard the news. They get together in Darul Nadwa, a big house. It was like chamber house. They came together and they said, this man needs name. We have to give him name. They're not looking for a good name. They already gave him good names. Now they want to remove those good names from him, and they want to give him another name, bad name. They say, this man deserves a name now. They say, and then they say, some of them, they say he's shy. They mention the two things that he hated the most, including other stuff. Say he's a poet. Some people say, no. We know him 40 years, he never made any poem. So he's not a poet. They say he's crazy. No, crazy people don't act like that. He's different. He's well respected and well dignified person. He cannot qualify to be a crazy person. They say he's sahir. He's a magician, sorcerer. They say no. He's not sorcerer. He doesn't know anything about sorcery. And then they said, sihrun yu'thar. Now he is being done then. Sihr was done up to him. He's crazy then. Through magic, through sorcery. He is not qualified to become a sorcerer. So now we can say he is done, possessed. He is possessed. That's what they say. And then when he heard about the news, he said, you know what? I'm going to kill myself. He wanted to commit suicide. Prophet ﷺ, he wanted to commit suicide. He says, I said to myself, لأعمدن إلى حالق من الجبل فأطرحن نفسي منه فلأقتلنها فلأستريحن. I will go to the highest level of the mountain and I will throw myself from there and I will kill myself so I can get relief from these botherings. He was so bothered by the name they gave him. So he says, فَخَرَجْتُ أُرِيدُ ذَلِكَ حَتَّى إِذَا كُنْتُ فِي وَسْطِ الْجَبَلِ. When I went, he said, I wanted to do this. So I went to the highest level of the mountain, and when I was about to throw myself away, from the mountain, he said, I heard a noise or voice from من السماء. سمعت صوتا من السماء. I heard a voice from the heaven, and he says, قال فخرجت. He says, the noise or the voice says, يا محمد أنت رسول الله وأنا جبريل. You are the messenger of God, and I am Jibreel. That's what the noise says, the voice. And he says, فَرَفَعْتُ رَأْسِي إِلَى السَّمَاءِ. I look up, فَإِذَا جِبْرِيلٌ فِي سُورَةِ رَجُلٍ. This time, it's Jibreel. And now, this time, he looks like a man, just a human. صَعْفُ قَدَمَيْهِ فِي أُفُقِ السَّمَاءِ. But he's sitting on a chair, and his feet are hanging from the heavens. I look at him. He says, Ya Muhammad, Anta Rasulullah wa ana Jibreel. He says, فَوَقَفْتُ أَنظُرُ إِلَيْهِ. I watched him, and this time he can look at him because it's a human. He looks like a human. And he says, وَشَغَلَنِي ذَلِكَ عَمَّا أَرَدْتُ. That made me forget what I wanted to do, which was to commit suicide. He says, فَمَا أَتَقَدَّمُ وَمَا أَتَأَخَّرُ. I didn't go forward or backward. I became still. He was frozen of what he has seen and what he has heard. What he has heard, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, وَجَعَلْتُ أَصْرِفُ وَجْهِي عَنْهُ في آفاق السماء فلا أنظر في ناحية منها إلا رأيت كذلك. He says, I try to turn away from him and look at a different place in the heaven, and wherever I go, he goes with me. Wherever I look at the heaven, he's right there. Wherever I go, I find him there. So he's just following my eyesight. Wherever I go, he will be there right away. He says, فما زلت واقفا فما أتقدم أمامي ولا أرجع وراي. I was frozen. I was not going forward or backward. حتى بعثت خديجة رسولها في طلبي. Up until Khadija sent some men to look for me. She said, go find him. She heard he wanted to kill himself. So she sent many people to locate him and to find him and to save him from committing suicide. حتى بلغوا مكة ورجعوا إليها وأنا واقف في مقامي. They looked for me, they couldn't find me because I'm standing in the middle of the mountain. Nobody can see me, and I'm not going either way, back or forward. I'm stuck, frozen, looking at the man, and he's following me, and everywhere I look at the heaven. ثم انصرف عني وانصرفت راجعا إلى أهلي. Then he disappeared from me, and then I left home. I went home. I left and went home. حتى أتيت خديجة فجلست إلى فخذها مضيفا إليها. Until I came to Khadija and I sat on her lap. He says, I am really scared, and I leaned on her. And قالت يا أبا القاسم أين كنت? Where were you? She asked me, where were you? I said, فوالله لقد فوالله, she says, فوالله لقد بعثت في طلبك حتى بلغوا مكة ورجعوا إليه. I sent men to look for you, and they went everywhere and they couldn't find you, and they came back to me. What happened? ثم حدثتها بالذي رأيته. And then I told her what I have seen. فقالت أبشر يا ابن عم. She says, glad tidings for you, my nephew, my cousin. She said, glad tidings for you. فوالذي نفس خديجة بيده إني لأرجو أن تكون نبي هذه الأمة. She says, by the God in whose hand is my soul, you are, I think and hope, you will be the prophet of this ummah. And then she says, ثم قامت فانطلقت إلى ورقة فأخبرته. She went to Waraqah and she told him what happened again. فقال قدوس قدوس. He says, best and best, the best and the best, untouchable, untouchable. والذي نفس ورقة بيده لقد جاءه الناموس الأكبر الذي كان يأتي موسى. This is the Jibreel, the great Jibreel that came to Musa, is the one that came to him. وإنه لنبي هذه الأمة, and he is the prophet indeed of this nation. فقولي له, say to him, فليثبت, he has to stay strong. Tell him, stay strong. فرجعت خديجة وأخبرته بقول ورقة فلما قضى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم جواره وانصرف إلى مكة لقيه ورقة. Then when he left, he met with ورقة. وقال بعد أن سمع منه خبره. And that was when the news already reached to ورقة. He says, والذي نفسي بيدي. He says, by the God that in whose hand is my soul, إنك لنبي هذه الأمة, you are the prophet of this ummah. This nation has a prophet and you are their prophet. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَكَ النَّامُوسُ الْأَكْبَرُ الَّذِي جَاءَ مُوسَى. The one that came to you again and again is the same one that came to Musa alayhi salam. It's Jibreel. I think we should stop right there. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.